This video is in association with MPEC vendors.
What is new, my Mystic crew? So today we went to locals. No surprise there. This is of course the continuation series of Can We Pay For Wedding with Yugioh cards, and as some of you know, we have pretty much done it. The ceremony itself is paid for. The DJ is paid for ish. The after party is paid for. It's just now things like the rings, the dress, the suits. We even have a wedding date, which is September, and that is when this series will officially come to an end, and then a new series hopefully will begin. But as always, as you see from the beginning of this video, we are in association with MPEC vendors. And check out the merch for MPEC vendors. How nice is this, eh? And I'll tell you what, the hoodie is so comfortable. Normally I don't like custom clothing because normally it's quite cheaply done, but this is so comfortable. And the embroidery, this is not like a steamed on sticker, this is like proper embroidered. That is beautiful. But yeah, anyway, enough about the hoodie. So we went to locals today and we are filming in our new office. We've moved house. That's why things have taken a little bit of a slow turn for things like the weekly gameplay footage. But I have recorded all the matches, so as long as we can get a little bit of time this week, which hopefully we will get those matches out. I'm going to try and bring back the voiceover of the videos rather than just putting that live gameplay. I feel that maybe that could be better. There are obviously some games, the reason why I stopped is because there are some games where I don't know what all the cards do. Even when I'm watching it back, I either don't know the name of the card, I don't know the effect of the card, and I'm just sitting there, even like in real time when the game's going on, it happens and I'm just like, okay, cool, I have no idea what's happening. So then when I'm trying to do the coverage video and I'm like, yeah, so he activates this, and yeah, I feel like I'm not giving enough information. But at the same point, I guess some information is better than none, because sometimes it can get a bit noisy when it is just live footage. So I'm going to try and bring that back. I'm not going to promise it for every video, but for some. But as for how we went today, let's break it down. So round one, we were against Heroes. And as you know, the last two times we played Heroes, we lost. And that was with our main deck of the Guardian Chimera, and we also lost with the Shining Sark deck that we took 1 week. So I was a bit apprehensive. I was very much like, oh my god, we're going to start this week off with a loss. Like, oh, you know, quite negative mindset. However, my opponent is very, very lovely. I have a lot of time for him, you know, and they just make it enjoyable, win or lose. They do make it an enjoyable game, and yeah, I appreciate that. But this week we got revenge. We went 2-0. We took both games, game one and game two. Game one was, I believe I won the dice roll. I set up a board. They struggled to break it, and I just had every answer needed. And then game two we had again, just the right counters at the right time, and we was able to pick up the dub. So I was happy with that. We started off strong, and against the deck which, funny enough, I've never beat Heroes, so that was fun. Then game two we went up against somebody who was again a fantastic person. I don't like to give out people's names on here because obviously I don't ask their permission for their name. There are certain people who I know has no issue with it, but then when it comes down to the game like this part, sometimes it is a bit hard to say. But yeah, they were playing a runic branded deck, I believe. I'll be honest, the game one, again, I had every answer needed for their board. Game two, I opened 3 hand traps on a starter. Yeah, they weren't playing through it. Reason why I believe it was runic branded, because I saw the runic engine, but I didn't see the branded. But they discarded the Fall of the Valbars for cost. And then in a later round, when they were playing a game next to me, I did see some branded cards. So, and he did say that he meant to side out the Fall of the Valbars, and he drew it in his opening hand. And anyone who plays branded knows you don't want Albaz in your opening hand anyway, let alone when you're supposed to have sided it out. So it's rough for them, good for us, because that put us on a XO lead for the day. Taking us into game 3, we were against not a new player, because I have seen them before, but new to our local scene. Hopefully they come back again, because I'd love to play him again, because he absolutely steamrolled me. I think the whole game lasted 7 minutes, if that. They were on Tempai, and I knew they were on Tempai beforehand, so I made them go first, and I was able to imperm the Pedra, and he just had to pass on Pedra, and I was like, this is it. Like, I'm going to take game 1 here. My opening hand was Imperm, Edge Imp Chain, 2 copies of Polymerization, and a copy of Chimera Fusion. So I was like, great. All I've got to do is draw a Beast or an Illusion, and we can start comboing. I drew Effect Veiler. So I was like, cool. I'm not going to stop Tempai 2 turns, so I scooped it up and went to game 2. I actually went first because I thought they're going to put all their go first cards in, because they're going to believe I'm going to make them go first again. So I went first. However, I missided. I should have put in Dimensional Barrier. I didn't. However, looking back, it would not have made a difference, because I didn't see any on my side cards, so I wouldn't have seen Dimensional Barrier if I sided that in over something else. But not only that, it was just a case of it was a fantastic play. He actually came first. He is undefeated. His deck profile is over on Matt Black's channel, which I've tagged him several times below. If I remember, I will tag his channel again, so you can go check out the deck profile, because that is now live. And he just absolutely steamrolled me, and I believe he actually steamrolled pretty much everyone he played today. So cool. Again, nice guy, and honestly, I want to sit and have a proper conversation with him if he's there again next week, just to learn his deck a bit better, because the only way we improve is by having that conversation. Round 4, we had a break and then went into round 4, and I was against Miles, and as you know, Miles is a absolute fantastic player. He is, I can quite comfortably say, we are boys. I have a lot of time for Miles. I think he's fantastic. I think he's one of the nicest and most genuine people I've met in a long time. Today didn't go so well for either of us. Well, maybe for me. He was also on Tempai. And he took game 1. He won the dice roll, I think, and just blasted me, as Tempai does. Game 2, I managed to grind it down to, we had 3 minutes left on the clock. I was ahead on life points, and he got to the point where he just kind of looked at the clock, looked at the game state, and went, yeah, this game's yours. We scooped it up, went game 2. Now, we had just less than 3 minutes here to going into game 3. We shuffled as quick as possible, and my opening hand was Master Tau the Enchanter, which, if you know, illusions cannot be destroyed by battle, nor can they destroy anything by battle. Cosmic Cyclone, Dimensional Barrier, Super Polymerization, and Big Wing Berthamet. So I set the 3 cards I could, and set Master Town Defense, and I had to pass. I didn't even think about my turn. My turn took about 10-15 seconds because I couldn't combo, I couldn't fuse, I couldn't do anything more than that. And then it was my opponent's turn. He drew for turn, activated Lightning Storm, called him back row. So I chained the Dimensional Fissure, called Synchros just to lock him out of his Fire Dragon Synchro play. Like, obviously they can still OTK with the links. However, he started doing his dragon stuff, with normal 7 activate effect. Time's ticking down, so I don't know if it was a bit flustered because the time was ticking down or what, but he jumped in battle phase. Obviously, he doesn't know what my face down monster is. It could have been anything. Attacked into it with one of his main deck dragons, flips over my monster, and it's not destroyed because it can't be destroyed by a battle. And he cast out there, looked at it. He had 3 monsters on field because of their effects. Time was called. We're still in battle phase, so he couldn't link to get rid of it and do some damage because he can't link in battle phase. He couldn't burn me. He couldn't do anything. So we drew. Now, obviously, no one likes to draw. No one likes losing in time, but it is one of those things. The time rules are there. I've been burnt by it multiple times, and it was just, unfortunately, on this occasion, the time rules were working with us. Now obviously, if there's more time, I think he would have played that turn very differently to what he did. And most probably would have found a way around it, whether it was in main phase 1, main phase 2, whatever, and managed to clear my field. And then I'd be in a top deck situation, and with Big Ring Bertha in hand, the only top deck that would have helped me there would be a Gazelle, Mirror Sword, or Kotal, and that's assuming he had no hand traps, because he still had 2 cards in hand. They could have been anything. So, in a much simplified game state, he was taking that game every day of the week. Just unfortunately, we ran out of time. Then game 5, I was up against David from MPEC Vendors, and again, a lot of time for David. I think he's brilliant. I actually want to do a few of his deck profiles because he always brings the spice, always. And we have great games, always. You've seen his gameplays on here. He was playing Goblin. I think it was just pure Goblin this week because there was no Punk engine in there. There's a little Speedroid engine, but it's like 4 cards. So he was on Goblins this week because he is testing for that. So, and he is interested in taking the Goblins to Nationals. And game 1, I was full comboed. I took it down. I would say pretty quick, but pretty average speed. He did some plays, I did some plays. We took him down. Then game 2, it's quite funny. He went first. He did what he did. I managed to poke him for 1200, take him down a little bit. Then he built another board, absolutely ripped my board apart. Took me down to, I think it was like 6,200, 6,300, something like that, life points. So I was then lower on life points. And then it was my turn. But on his turn, he made Typhoon, went to activate another effect to Spec Tank, which obviously you can't normal or special summon once you've gone in Typhoon. So then on my turn, I made a Typhoon myself, and then went to do the same thing. I went special summon Nightmare Apprentice, and I looked at him and went, I can't do that either. we both tried to do it. And then during my turn, I set a back row. 18 seconds left on clock. I had Typhoon on the field, he had Typhoon on the field, and he had 2 other XEs, both with no material, so there wasn't anything drastic he could have done here. I had Chimera Engrave, which I banished, I had the Baphomet Fusion Engrave, which I banished to spec back a banished Beast Fiend or Illusion. The only one I had was Kotal, so I spec back the Kotal. My idea was to Chimera Fusion them off during my opponent's turn. So I set the Chimera Fusion because I went into Typhoon, so I couldn't activate it. My opponent's turn, he looked up at the clock, 18 seconds left. Again, he panicked. He activated Cosmic Cyclone, banishing the Chimera Fusion, so I couldn't Chimera Fuse during the standby phase. But at that time he was on 6800 life, I was on 62, 63. That dropped him down to 58, and during his main phase he could not burn me for damage. So he went to battle, he swung his Typhoon into mine, and his two other XEs monsters that he had couldn't get over Kotal, because Kotal cannot be destroyed by battle, being an illusion monster, and time was called. And at that point, because he activated that Cosmic Cyclone, my life points were higher by about 500, so I took game 2 and we won that one 2-0. Now obviously if he didn't have activated Cosmic, if he took the time, because afterwards he even said like there's a couple of misplays he did there, he could have done things differently, and if he did those things differently he would have won game 2 in time, he would have been on the higher life, which means we would have drew. But unfortunately it's not how it turned out for him today. I took the win, which good for me. That means I went 3-1-1 today. I took 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Overall I came 4th in placement, so I got 2 packs plus my OTS. And I didn't pull anything, but you know, sod's law. But yeah, we had a really good showing. We had a good week. We did change the deck slightly. I'll show you the deck profile. It's probably in a separate video because this one's gone on nearly 20 minutes now, and I don't want to, you know, put out 30-40 minute long videos. So what I'll most probably do is a deck profile and a combo guide a little bit later in the week, or if it is just a deck profile, I will put that up on TikTok, which is all under the same name, so feel free to subscribe to me there if you haven't already. And obviously if you like this local report, if you like the gameplay footage, whether it's with the voiceover or without, let me know. Like the video, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend who you think might enjoy it. We are a very small channel with a small community, and I want us to grow. I want us to one day potentially do a remote duel tournament with prizing, which I can supply. I said MPEG vendors are going to be doing some giveaways over on the Instagram, which will be put out through this channel. So I want us to grow because I want us to experience this game we all love of Yu-Gi-Oh, and really share in that. So if you do think anyone might enjoy this channel, please send them one of my videos and let's see if we can grow this community together. But until the next one, I hope you have a good day. Peace out.